There's many different bands that you can communicate.
In Haiti, they said there's most of that stuff is like mermaids, but I can't really speak of it myself.
They found mermaid in Haiti on the beach. I don't know if you've seen that article, but
yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard a lot of
it was probably like 4 feet.
Yes, I've read that.
Yeah. But
I read that.
Okay, well then we could just scratch that because I don't know much about that except I know of people that have done that. Supposed to come from a family that has that.
Correct.
But
Correct.
anyways, I want to ask you about astral projecting.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't find yourself to be able to astral project in this planet, like what kind of what kind of symbology is that? Like,
Say it again. That you can't. I missed the last part of that.
You can't really.
If you're not able to do it.
Yeah, project in this dimension, but you're always far from this dimension, this physical dimension.
If you mean if you can't project too far from here, I just want to make sure I'm understanding your question.
Like I find myself being able to project
right
in far distant places that are not really related to what we're in the physical.
But that's okay because remember, when you deal with the subjective universe, the subjective realm, if you can think of it mentally, all is mental, mental is all. It exists. You understand? It may not exist to him, her, and him, but it exists to you, and that's the only thing that's important. See, we don't have to worry about, when we deal with this type of science, it's not about confirming and proving it to others outside of ourselves. That's irrelevant. See, that's what religion does. Like, we feel the need to prove. So, if you're traveling to these places that maybe can't be identified by anything you would know by the norm, that's irrelevant. But you're going there because, remember, there is no limitation, there is no boundaries. It exists to you. And that's the only thing that's important. If you're seeing anything, a creature, a species, a life form, a place, you're seeing it because it's a reality to you and there's a connection to you. So it's not about I'm not saying that's what you're doing. It's not about that it needs to be verified by something or somebody. That's irrelevant. The thing is, that's a beautiful gift that you need to harness and go with and work with and explore to its fullest, because that's a gateway, that's a path for you that you need to travel and explore. So it's a personal path for you, and that's the important thing. You understand? Yeah. So it's personal. I couldn't really give you, detailed on that, but what I would say is it is real to you when you study the occult metaphysics. All is mental, mental is all, and that's in the all, and that's a reality.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out for myself. I know I'm not astral projecting. Sometimes I have, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I know it's my mind's eyes that's open, but a lot of the time when I'm sleeping, and it always happens like, of course, 3, 4 o'clock at night. In the morning. Mm-hmm. And I clearly see everything in the room, right? And as though my physical eyes is open, and then I touch my eyes, and I feel my eyelids are closed, and I look at my hands. I don't see my physical hands. I just see a shadow of my hands. But then I see everything in the physical room as though that my physical eyes is open.
What's happening to you is you're having an out-of-body experience. You're separating, and you're seeing transitions of it when you wake up, or when it appears to create the illusion that you're waking up, but you're really not. Like you say, you touch your eyes. Mm-hmm. When that happens, do you ever see yourself looking down at yourself?
That haven't happened in a long time.
Okay.
But it's like I feel like I'm awake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going,
and then I'm like looking at my hand. I'm just having just a good time. I'm just looking at my hands and feeling my eyes.
You're in that transition state, and you're seeing what you're visualizing and experiencing, and it's weird. It's like the example to show you. When I say you're in the state from the physical traveling, wherever you're getting ready to go, because you're getting ready to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. There's a connection, like if you like when we talk about in the past in some older classes, when you have a nightmare or a bad dream, you wake up and you're sweating sometimes. Mm-hmm. There's a connection between the spiritual realm and the physical. Don't let nobody shit you. What happens when that happens is you're in that transition stage where you're seeing it happen. What you need to try to find out is what's preventing you from going, because you need to go fully. Now, you may say, well, I don't feel like anything, but subconsciously, if you did that, I would figure out and meditate on the fact, what is it that it could be something that's preventing you from going, something you might be fearing that you might not be conscious of, because you might say right now on the surface, well, I can't think of anything in particular that I'm afraid of. No, but that might not be the thing.
There is something, because like there's times when I'm sleeping and I feel my body, I feel I'm getting ready to separate from my body.
Do you try to abruptly force yourself back?
It happens automatically like a magnet.
There's something binding you here then.
And it's pulling me back, and I'm trying to like lift the spirit to.
All right, so there's definitely something there blocking it, and it's definitely some type of energy.
And I feel it. It's just like a magnet, like, and it brings me back, and then I try it again to like lift myself up, but then it's literally pulling me back like a magnet.
I mean, I got theories on what that is. We can talk about that. I got a couple of theories on that. Deceased relative that's not letting you go. There's somebody taking you, but somebody's pulling you back. I know that for sure. That's definitely what it is. But you could probably figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
There's something I'll give you that you can figure it out on your own. That's why I'd ask you, do you see yourself? You can get yourself to the point where you're looking down at yourself.
The last time that happened, that's when when we was living together.
Okay.
And that's literally the last time when I've, actually seen myself. I hover above myself, and I'm like looking at myself.
What's going to happen
that
is
used to happen a lot.
when you're able to get that to happen again, you're going to see what's there actually blocking, that's sucking you back in. You're going to see it, and then you'll be able to identify because something wants something from you that you're not giving it. Because basically what it is the spirit that's trying to take you there.
Yeah.
Is trying to show you something. That spirit, it's like they're kind of fighting over you. They kind of got an interest in you. So this one's saying, "Oh, you're going to take them? No, you're not taking. Boom! They're bringing you right back down." But you need to see who it is. So once you see who it is, there's something you can do to appease. You can appease that spirit for sure.
Kind of on what he's saying, right? Is that because you're saying spirit like there's that other entity that's coming through? That's
no, it's not another entity. Okay. It's your higher, your superconscious that creates that. When we say we're talking and communicating to spirits, it could also be. We could be communicating with something we were in a past life, creating the illusion that it's something outside of ourselves. So when you deal with the objective universe, it always creates the illusion that it's something outside of yourself when it's really not. It's something in the mind. See, back in the day, that's how I used to think, that it's a spirit that's coming from somewhere that's not connected.
I don't really see it. I don't
but
see that.
I'm not saying you were, but yeah.
No, but I'm saying this, right? So from what he's describing, from my experience, right, it might not be the same, but it's like when you're trying to, for myself, when I'm trying to project or step out of form, if I'm meditating on the physical body and how I'm feeling, or
right.
like he was saying, the movement of the hands,
right.
You're keeping yourself. Well, I would say for myself, I would be keeping myself in my form, so it's going to be harder for me to travel because I'm identifying with the physical sensation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But moving away from that physical sensation and just focusing on just the energy itself is what allows me to travel out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so you found a method, and that's what again, you got to find methods, and that works for you, and I would stay with that. I'm going to leave this last one because I want to finish up with some drumming, and I know it's getting late. I didn't realize it was this late.
I just want to mention we have some soup.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Soup. No, soup, and what else you had? You had, I think you said, was it salad? Or just soup? Soup. Okay. I know, yeah, and also here, there's books, product, a lot of stuff we're talking about tonight. Tons of books over here for that. There's a lot of books on astrology, magic, witchcraft, ancestral worship on this side over here, too.
I'm a little confused because when I asked you about something around me, and you said it was
Cherokee Native American spirits.
Yeah, around me, and but those are spirits.
Right, but they're spirits. But know this: when they're spirits that are connected to you by DNA, it's still when I say the objective universe, anything objectively, like for an example, say your deceased mother comes and communicates to you. You see an image of your mother that is creating the visual that it's outside of yourself, but it's still logged in the superconscious or your subconscious mind.
I wasn't creating anyone, but you could pick up. But I mean, if it's not spiritual outside yourself,
it's not. I can pick up because I'm not picking up on anything outside of yourself. I'm picking up on the vibrational energy of your subconscious mind.
Oh, okay.
I can see it around you based on that. It's in here. It's all, when I say it's all around you, I can see them standing there. I can see the one on your right that has his hand on your shoulder, and it's a comforting spirit, But what I'm saying is it's creating the illusion by way of the objective realm that it's outside of you. But it's just like when you have a family lineage, you have a great-great-grandmother, a great-great-grandmother, great-grandmother, grandmother, even though they're themselves separate entities, but they're all connected by the same bloodline. So technically, when you look at it from the subjective realm, that's not outside of yourself. Objectively, it is, because they take on physical form, creating that illusion. I know that might sound a little confusion, but you need to kind of meditate on that. I wouldn't focus so much on that aspect. Now, if you need for the time being to look at it as something outside of yourself, that's okay.
No, I was confused.
No,
because one
right.
time it's a spirit, and the next time it's inside yourself.
Right.
And I just couldn't understand how
Right.
that could be.
It's inside your, maybe this will help you. It's inside yourself, but can project itself externally. Maybe that'll kind of, I don't know if that can kind of help you out. It's just like when you, in order to bring something into existence, I look at it this way. Say you're planning a wedding for your daughter. I'm just using an example. You visualize it before it happens in your mind. You plan it all out in your head. You put it on paper, but then it actually manifests itself physically. So now the wedding comes, it takes place, your daughter got married. Even though that physically happened in the objective realm, you created it first in the subjective realm. You understand what I'm saying?
So I didn't really create them around me. It's just in my DNA. And
There you
picking
go.
Up on that.
I mean, if that helps you, I'm trying to give you a little, yeah.
Okay, I was just.
No, that's fine. That's fine. This is going to be the last one, then I want to finish with some jumping. Go ahead.
So what about in my instance where I'm just mixed up,
Right.
going back 3-4 generations?
Right.
Do I have entities that are in my favor and against my favor?
You have, yes, both. We all have in our favor and against our favor, because we might have certain ancestral beings that are trying to contact us because they're trapped in between this realm and the next realm, and they feel like they can use us as a vessel to stay alive here. That would be an individual entity that may not be in your favor, still connected to you. It doesn't matter. You can be mixed with a million different things. And one thing that's hard for melanated people to stomach, you have a lot of white spirits that work for you in your favor. Okay? I have a brother that's not here tonight who he used to always see, we did a consultation for him, and there was always this Scottish man in a hat smoking a pipe. He would always see him in his dreams, sitting in his living room, and anytime that he was in tough times, the spirit would always be there, talk to him. He was in this mind state because he's dark-skinned and melanated from the Caribbean. How can this white spirit be giving him guidance? So he found out when he researched on his mother's side, his mother's great-grandfather was from Scotland. So that was a spirit coming through, communicating with him. So I'm bringing that up to show you another thing we need to get past is, as melanated people, race and gender have nothing to do with the subjective realm. Those are just vessels they use. And they work both ways, in your favor and against. So I wouldn't focus on the negative. I know there's more questions, but we'll probably be here till the wee hours of the morning.
Right.
And because of the energy that's here, drums need to be played to kind of purify this place out. It needs to be done. Now, what I want people to do, I told you, I'm not about reading stuff. I'm about experiencing stuff. Reading is just a step. All right. So we're going to stop.